Hello, students of class 9th. Okay, I am back with the chapter of economics in SST, chapter 1, the story of village Palampur, and this is the second part of that chapter. This is the second part of that chapter. Okay, now before moving to the second part, we will have a small revision on chapter 1, on part 1. What have we learnt in that part? Okay, before moving to the chapter or before moving to part 1, we will have a quick look on part 1 so that whatever is being taught in part 2 will be easy for you to understand. Okay, so please take out all of your notebooks. If you have made a separate notebook for economics, please note down that also. I hope you have noted down the question and answers of chapter 1 from geography, right, which I have given you in the last session. Okay, so note it down. Now let's move to part 2 and the revision of part 1. So in the first session, we had seen about the story of village Palanpur. Okay, in that first you try to know that the story of village Palanpur is you can say like this story is about a hypothetical village. Hypothetical village means this village does not consist anyway. Okay, only to make you understand about the farming or the occupation done in the villages, this lesson is being created. Okay, by learning this lesson you will understand what type of activities are being done in the village. Okay, now the main purpose of the story is to introduce some basic concepts relating to production. Okay, and through this story we will see how is agriculture is being done with the old technology, with the new technologies. Okay, and after the production what is being done, how much land is owned by farmers. Okay, and what is being grown, in what cycle it is being grown. So that's why this lesson was being made, this lesson was being created to make us understand about the, you can say, agriculture. Okay, we had seen that Palanpur is well connected with the neighboring villages and towns, and because of this neighboring villages and towns, it was easy for the people of Palanpur to sell their things. Whatever they produced on the farm, it was easy for them to sell it. Okay, because this town and villages, neighboring villages and towns were 3 kilometers from Palanpur. Okay, an all-weather road connects the village to Raiganj, and now Palanpur was connected with which village, which town? Raiganj. Okay, which was only 3 kilometers, and Shahapur. Okay, Raiganj and Shahapur. We had also seen that in the village about 450 families of different caste lived in that. Okay, from which 80 houses were of the upper caste and rest of them of the lower caste. The upper caste people had a very you can say pakka houses. Their houses were made up of cement and everything, and the rest of the people, the 20% of the people, were of SC. SC means they were Dalit, or you can say the 1/3 of the population of the village were Dalit people. Okay, and they lived in the corner of the villages, and most of their houses were made up of mud and straw. We had also seen in this chapter that the houses in Palanpur village, okay, they had electric connections, and these electric connections were used for tube wells in the fields and for the various type of small businesses. Okay, we had also seen that Palanpur had 2 primary schools and two hospitals. You can say 2 hospitals, one run by the government and one was the private. Okay, now with this description of the Palanpur, the description above shows that Palanpur has fairly well developed system of roads, because the transportation it is talking about. Okay, when the people had to move to go to the town or to the other villages. Okay, so it is telling that Palanpur has fairly well developed systems of roads, transports, electricity, irrigation, schools, health facilities and everything. Okay, now what are we going to see? We are also going to see that other than agriculture, what type of non-farming activities were done in Palanpur. Okay, they were dairy farming, small scale industries, manufacturing industries, you can say, shopkeepers, transports, such kind of non-farming activities were being done. We had also seen about the land and the labor. We had seen that if a person owns a very huge land, okay, then he needs labor on that. And for that labor and land, only labor and land won't work. The one main thing which has been needed is the capital. Capital means money. Okay, we had seen about the physical capital, and from that it was physical capital was also divided into 2, in which one was fixed capital and other was working capital. I had explained you that what is fixed capital. Fixed capital means like tools, machines, buildings. Now in this, tools and machines, okay, range from very simple tools such as farmers plow and sophisticated machines. These machines are going to long last. Okay, now the things which you spend money, okay, the things on which you spend money and the things which are long lasting means which are going to stay long with you, such things are your fixed capital. Okay, and the working capital means in that you spend the money every day, in that you spend money behind it every day for the expenses of tea, or sometimes on the machines, repairing of the machines, for the raw materials. Okay, so we had seen about it. Fine. Now let's see about the farming in Palanpur. In this we are going to see farming in Palanpur. What are we going to see? Land is fixed. Is there a way to grow more from the same land? Is it possible that if a person has one land and he can grow different type of crops on it? Okay, will the land sustain? Will the land be fertile, long or no? Okay, how is the land distributed in the village? And if a person has a huge land or a big land, you can say, who will provide the labor on it? Okay, and the capital which has been needed for the farming, where do they get that capital from? It is not possible for each and every farmer to spend as much as the money he wants on the field or on the for agriculture. What is been done at that time? And the sale of surplus, whatever is been grown, okay, about that selling of it, what is the role of the government and how does it help? All we are going to see in this session. Okay, before moving to the chapter further, okay, look at this. You are looking here the new way and the old way of farming. Have a look on it. In the olden days, the farmer used to use bullocks and a plow made of wood or like that. Okay, which he used to use it on his own. So this was the old way of ploughing. Then if we move to the modern ways, in the modern ways, now these works are being done with new technologies, either with tractors or either with some new instruments, right? So by this, it is only telling you that the way of agriculture has been changed with time. The way of agriculture has been changed with time. Okay? So look at the two ways, the new way and the modern way. Now after seeing all the points like what kind of production is been done and how is the capital been divided, okay, now we will see the farming in Palanpur. Now we'll see farming in Palanpur, how the farming is best done. First we had seen the organization of the production, land, labor, physical capital, everything. Okay, now how the farming has been done, when you have the labor, when you have the land and you have the capital also, but how can the farming be done? Now if you move further with this topic, farming in Palanpur, you will see different subtopic in that, like land has been fixed, will the land sustain, or is there any other way we can grow more on the same land? Okay, but if you study these subtopics, they all are connected with each other. Okay, means the land is fixed. Okay, if yes or no, if it is yes, then is there any other way to, or is there any way one can grow more crops on that? And if one can grow more crops on that, then will that land sustain or no? Okay, such kind of points are we going to see in this. And let me tell you, each and every point is connected with each other. Okay, so please pay attention on that very carefully. So we had seen that what is the main occupation of Palanpur? The main occupation of Palanpur is farming. Okay. Now the factors which are being needed for a farming is land, labor and physical capital, right? Now first factor, we will discuss about the first factor, that the land is fixed. Okay. Now farming is the main activity of the village of Palanpur. 75% of the people who are working are dependent on farming for their livelihood. Means 75% of the people in the village of Palanpur are farmers, and their livelihood means their household, their income you can count as is from farming. Okay, now but there is constant rise in population. Okay, so the wasteland are converted to cultivatable land. They could be farmers or farm laborers. Now the 75% people whose life is, you can say, depending, their livelihood depends on the farming. Now these farmers or these people can be farmers also, or they can be farming laborers also on somebody else's land. Okay, the well-being of these people is closely related to the production of the farms. Now whatever is being produced on the land, okay, whatever is being produced on the land, their well-being, the well-being of the people depends on the production of the farms. Okay, but remember, there is a basic constraint in raising farm production. Land area under cultivation is practically fixed. Okay, since 1960 in Palanpur, there has been no expansion in land areas under cultivation. Okay, by then some of the wastelands in the village had been converted in cultivatable land. Cultivatable land. Okay, now as the population in the village is increasing, though we know that the farming is the main occupation of the people of Palanpur, okay, Palanpur, but as the population is increasing, what has been done? The wasteland means the unfertile land, you can say, the land which is of not any use. Now such kind of lands are being cultivated, are being converted into cultivatable land. Cultivatable land means it is being used now for agriculture. Now they are being transferred, or you can say they are being converted into cultivatable land. Okay, and now the position is that no land is being left for cultivation anymore. Now there exists no land to convert to cultivatable land. Okay, so is the land fixed? In this we are understanding that farming is the main activity of people of Palanpur. Okay, 75% of the people in the village work on the field, either they are farmers or they work on some other field. Okay, and we have also seen that the land is not fixed. Why? Because of the rising of population. Okay, and because of it, now what is being done? The land which is not being used, you can say it as unfertile land, or you can say it as wasteland. Now that land is being used for agriculture, or you can say they are being converted into cultivatable land. And now the present position is that there is no more land left in the village for cultivation. Okay, now only the land which is there with the farmers are being used for agriculture. As we have seen that the land is fixed for cultivation, right? Now the main question which comes in mind is there any other way, or is there a way one can grow more from the same land? Now is there any other way? Because if the land is fixed, you are being given a amount of land. Okay, and when the land is fixed for cultivation, the other question which comes in mind is there a way one can grow more on the same land? So first thing which is to be noted is all land is cultivated in Palanpur. Means whatever land is there in Palanpur, each and every land agriculture is being done. Means no land is left idle. Okay, all land is cultivated in Palanpur and no land is left idle. Okay, so you can't say like that any land is left empty, so you can go and do the farming on that. No, here the land is fixed for cultivation. Okay, in villages the lands are fixed for cultivation. You can't do cultivation wherever you want. Now during rainy season, farmers grow jawar and bajra. These plants are used as cattle's feed. It is followed by cultivation of potato between October and December. Okay, now the land which are there with the farmers, how do they use that land? They use that land by growing different type of crops in different seasons. Okay, now here in the rainy season the farmers grow kharif crops like jawar and bajra, and these are being used as the animal feed. Animal feed means they feed their animals with it. And further, after when they grow jawar and bajra, they cultivate, or you can say they grow potatoes between October and December. And then in the winter season they grow rabi crops like are sown with wheat. Okay, and from the wheat which is produced, the farmer keep enough wheat for the family and sell the surplus of wheat in the market of Raiganj. Okay, now this is how the cultivation is being done. This is how the cultivation, or you can say the agriculture, is being done. In different seasons the farmer grow different crops, okay, and they keep a surplus amount for them, for themselves, for their family, so that they can feed them for the whole year, okay, and rest which is being left, they sell it in the market in Raiganj, okay. Now a part of the land area is also devoted to sugarcane, which is harvested once every year. Sugarcane in its raw form or as jaggery is sold to the traders in Shahpur. Now further also means after this, like growing of jawar, bajra, wheat, rabi crops, everything, once on this land they grow sugarcane also, okay. And how do growing of sugarcane help them? They sell this, you can say, sugarcane, the raw sugarcane, okay, and also they make jaggery from it and sell it to the traders in Shahpur, okay. So is there any other way to grow crop on the same field? Yes, we have seen everything like season wise if we grow the crops. Other than this, if we use modern inputs like HYV seeds, okay, fertilizers, modern machineries, modern farming machineries, if we use good pesticides, okay, and irrigating modern facilities like canals, pumps, electricity, dams, such kind of thing can also help you in growing of growing more crops on the same field, okay. Now as I had told you about the growing of crops as per season on the same land, it is known as multiple cropping, okay. Method of multiple cropping is being used in Palanpur, okay. Cultivation in different types of crops in the same piece of land, like kharif crop in rainy season, okay, and rabi crop in winter season, and sugarcane to be grown once a year, okay. So cultivation of different types of crop on the same piece of land at same or different times is known as multiple cropping. For example, if we say jawar and bajra grow during rainy season, potato is produced between October and December, and wheat is produced in winter season. So this type of farming is known as multiple cropping, okay. And why are the farmers able to do these three types of different crops in a year? Because they have a good facility of irrigation, okay, electricity, tube well, dams, they have a good facility of electricity, good system of irrigation, you can say, okay. So I hope you have understood what is multiple cropping. Multiple cropping means to grow more than one crop on a piece of land during the year. We have seen the farmers growing jawar and bajra during rainy season, potato between October and December, and wheat during winter season, okay. Now growing these crops on the same land again and again, will the land sustain? The main question comes in the mind, will the land sustain? Now why is multiple cropping done on the land? Before knowing will the land sustain, the one main question is being that why is multiple cropping been done on the land? The multiple cropping is done on the land to improve the fertility of the land, okay. Now this farming can be done in two ways. One is multiple farming, which I have told you, to grow more crops on the same land as per season. Now what is mixed farming. Mixed farming means having the same piece of land but you grow two crops at the same time on the same piece of land. Okay, don't get mixed up with multiple cropping and fixed cropping. Mixed cropping. Multiple cropping means to grow the crop. Multiple cropping means to grow more than one crop on the same piece of land during the year. And fixed cropping means you can grow two crops on the same land. Means you divide the land into two parts. On one side you grow one type of crop and on the second side you grow second type of crop. And why is such type of thing has been done? Such type of thing is been done to improve the fertility of the land. Okay. Now after knowing all this about the multiple cropping, mixed cropping, everything, now will the land sustain? No, the land won't sustain. Why? Because we are expecting more from the land than its capability. We are expecting more from the land. Okay. Now land being a natural resource, it is necessary to be careful in its use. We should be careful before using it because it is a natural resource. Okay. There is fixed fertility in a land. And if we try to grow more from a land, its fertility gets lost. Okay. Scientific reports indicate that the modern farming methods have overused the natural resource base. Now, as per scientific resource, it is been said that the modern methods which we are using for the agriculture, has overused our natural resource. Okay. In many areas, green revolution is associated with the loss of soil fertility due to the increased use of chemical fertilizers. And why are these fertility being lost? Why we say that the fertility of the land is being lost? Why it is being so? It is because of the increased use of chemical fertilizers to grow the, you can say, to grow more from a land, the farmer use chemical fertilizers. Okay, and these chemical fertilizers are not good for the fertility of the soil. Okay, and next is the continuous use of groundwater through tube well. Okay, this has also been led to the depletion of the water table. Environmental resources like soil fertility and groundwater are built up over years. The soil fertility comes in the soil after many years. Okay, the water, the underground water, it also takes too many years for that to collect. Okay, once destroyed, it is very difficult to restore them. If the soil loses its fertility, then it's very hard to gain that fertility back again because it takes many years for them to restore. We must take care of the environment to ensure future development of agriculture. So it is very necessary for us to take care, a great care of the land. Okay, otherwise the land will not sustain. If we expect more from the land will lose its fertility. Simple. Okay. We have seen many things about Palanpur. What have we seen? We have seen that Palanpur is a hypothetical village. Okay, hypothetical means an imaginary village. We have seen the factors of land, factors of agriculture. We have seen the lands are fixed, and how is production being done on that fixed land, and that is called an extra production, you can say. Means having a piece of land, okay, and how the production is being done. All this we have seen. Now the main question is, how is the land distributed between the farmers of Palanpur, right? While seeing the multiple cropping and mixed cropping, right, what kind of disadvantage did we see? The question which came, will the land sustain? We have seen that no, the land would not sustain long. Why? Because the excess use of chemical fertilizers, by which the soil is losing its fertility, right? So this is what we have seen. Now on the other dimension, if we look at, the next question comes in our mind is, how is the land distributed then? If the farmers are doing multiple cropping or different types of cropping, how is the land distributed among them? Okay, so here the first thing is that the land is being distributed unevenly. The land is being distributed unevenly. Okay, in Palanpur, about 1/3 of the 450 families are landless. Okay, that is 150 families, most of them Dalits, have no land for cultivation at all. Remaining families who own land, 240 families cultivate less than 2 hectares of land, which doesn't give much profit. So this is all about the distribution of the land in Palanpur. Okay, in Palanpur there are 60 families of medium and large farmers who cultivate more than 2 hectares of land. Means the land distribution in Palanpur is uneven. Each and every farmer is not being given the same piece of land. Okay, and on that also, some families have less than 2 hectares of land, which is not giving them a very good profit, and some have a very big piece of land, okay, who cultivate on them. Okay, the few of the large farmers who have 10 hectares or more than 10 hectares of land. Fine. Now the diagram which has been shown here, just have a look on that. That diagram is about the Palanpur village distribution of cultivation of land. Okay, through this diagram you can understand how is the land being distributed in Palanpur. There is one piece of land which is distributed among 24 farmers. There is one piece of land which has been only the property of one alone farmer. Means here it's trying to explain that the land distribution in Palanpur is uneven. Okay, just pay attention on that diagram very carefully. It's an important diagram. Now why is then this distribution of land being explained in this chapter? This is to explain that through this, when the distribution of land is being different in Palanpur or uneven in Palanpur, it shows that the people who don't have land at all, or you can say the landless farmers, they would have less money. Okay, now the people who have, the farmers who have more land or very big land, they will earn more money. They can earn more money, and the farmers who have a very small piece of land, they will earn less money. So this distribution of land is also showing the economical condition of village of Palanpur. Okay, so this is how the land is being distributed, where you can see that some farmers have no land at all, some have very small plot of land, and some sections have very huge part of land. Okay, and this shows the economical condition of Palanpur, right? Now with this we end our second part. Okay, in the third part we will continue with having all the lands who will produce the who will provide the labor. Okay, further we will see the capital which is been needed for the farming. How do the farmers get that capital? Okay, there are still more to continue with the surplus sale of surplus farm products and about the non farming activities in village Palanpur. Okay, in the third part we will complete this chapter and move with the exercise. Fine. Till then, whatever you have learned in part 2, please try to understand very carefully and note down whatever has been given in the session. Fine. Till then, take care of your health and bye.